At exactly 9:40.
The staff had reported for work like any normal day and were having their morning devotion when the multi-story building began to crumble upon them. And they all had similar tales.
That day, we were having morning devotion inside the building, and I was standing in front of the door, hanging banner in front of the door, because that was Wednesday, we were having promotion. So the banner for the promotion, I was hanging it. What I saw, the pillar in front of the door hit me on the compound. The time I realized I was on the compound. So I was the first person to call the management and tell them that the building has collapsed, because I was the first person outside. That's what I saw. Because when the incident happened, you can't see anything. It's like darkness. If you are going, you are just moving. You don't know where you are heading to.
That day, I just came late, so we went in exactly 5 minutes when the thing happened. It happened like a rapture. That was what I was thinking in my mind, that God has come. So I just forget about everything, that, oh, it's God, after all, it's God. So just feel reluctant and all that. But within 10 to 20 minutes, I just realized that still I'm alive. But I can't do anything, I can't wake up. Just suddenly we heard machine excavator and all that. So I spent 6 hours.
You spent 6 hours under
it before I was rescued.
What was going through your mind that 6 hours? What was going through your mind?
My eyes were open, but I can't even think about anything. But what I was thinking is that I'm about to die.
Others were clueless about what was happening.
In the building.
What were you doing in the building that day?
That day I collapsed. Exactly the incident happened, I collapsed.
Mm-hmm. You collapsed?
Yes.
So you didn't see anything happening on that day?
No.
If you are Bram Mishao, yet a sound near Fos near Cornum. Miranda, who wanted to be Susan, so gave us a comfort. Now be minute and a serious. Only say Minamaka make a sigh by a friend better aggressive. Say he gave me not Ninayacha, Nimuati, and Ajunimuati. No, I procry. It was the last girl, yet to me in the free. I go on 9 and saying, I'm lucky. I'm on so lucky, other guy back home. Echirema get back on so oye juma honum like oto form na we no bim ne be born society ono de no wawu na guy back on so e de ne free so be e de ne be shame sa ono so no wawu.
Whilst trapped under the rubble, a crowd quickly gathered outside, many of them onlookers, quite a number also willing to help, and others yet simply wailing. Personnel from the National Disaster Management Organization and allied agencies, who were later joined by international rescue teams, rummaged through the rubble for days to recover bodies and rescue these lucky ones. A year on, the grief that engulfed the scene of the tragedy was revisited, though a lot more subdued. They laid a wreath to commemorate the day, but the after effects still lives with them.
It has affected me in so many ways, because most of my friends are now think I'm dead. Those who have not seen me, they still feel Jennifer is dead or something.
September to October, I've been in coma for 4 times. If not this thing happens to me, Isaac I'm not ill. I don't just get ill just like that. But because of this incident, illness has taken place in me. That's what I can say.
Okay. So are you saying that your life has not been the same at all?
No. I tell you, life has not been the same for me.
What do you do now?
No, because of the sickness taking impact in me, I'm in the house, I'm not doing anything. But just by the grace of God, today I'm fine. Yeah, by the grace of God, from November coming, I'm fine.
A pillar fall on one side of me, so I have a fracture with my hand, my knee, and my toe.
Oh my God. So, how do you feel right now?
I'm not that fit, but the doctor said we will not be 100% fit, so we should go home. So I'm just, sometimes I feel the pain, sometimes too. So.
Oh my God.
This certainly brings up the issue of our building code and how we enforce it. And definitely there is a lot of negligence in terms of how we build, especially high-rise buildings. And so we're going to have to put in place a mechanism to check the safety and security of other high-rise buildings and find out if there aren't any more of such disasters waiting to happen. As you know, Ghana is an earthquake-prone zone. And so if this building just collapsed like that, if we get a tremor that is above a certain magnitude, how many more buildings won't come down? That is a question that we need to look at and face. But we set up a task force to deal with this current emergency. And our focus now is on rescuing people and getting people out alive. I think that the other medium to long-term measures we shall take. But whoever are responsible for this negligence will have to pay a price for what they have caused.
This morning, I am ordering the arrest of Mr. Abebio. Please step out. I am ordering the arrest of Mr. Abebio immediately for further investigation and for the necessary prosecution. So, police officer, please arrest Mr. Abebio immediately. I am ordering the arrest of Mr. Abebio this morning because Mr. Abebio works for AMA as a building inspector. Mr. Abebio is not an agent of AMA or anybody to collect money. Mr. Abebio has collected from this developer an amount of 3,550 Ghana cedis.
The Accra mayor, a year after, says they concluded investigations about a month ago and that the docket on the owner of the building is currently with the Attorney General.
Well, after the Melcom collapse, the owner of the building, number one, I closed down all the other building properties that is owned by the developer. That's owner of the building. And up to today, we have not opened those buildings because I said that those buildings had no permit. And the owner said they had permit. So we closed down those structures. Number two, we arrested the owner of the building. He was put to court and he was granted bail. Since being granted bail, investigations have been going on to ensure that he will be brought to book fully in terms of prosecution. I've been following it up. The police, CID, have just informed me about a month ago. They have finished their investigations. They have all the information. They have moved the case now to the Attorney General's department. And we are waiting Attorney General's department to prepare their files, their docket, to put it before trial.
And life goes on.
Meanwhile, management and staff of Melcom also held a minute silence at their flagship Melcom Plus at the industrial area here in Accra. Adelaide Arthur was there for Joy News.
At exactly 9:45 a.m., staff of Melcom held a 1-minute silence to honor the victims of last year's disaster. And I'm here with one of the survivors, and she will be talking to us about how she has been coping for the past 1 year. Hello, madam. How have you been coping for this past year?
Oh, I've been all right. With the support of my family, my colleagues, the staff at work, I'm all right.
All right. Yeah, it was a terrible sight. I was there myself and I saw all the struggles, the attempts to pull out survivors from the rubble. What was your experience? Can you briefly recount what happened that day?
It was a terrible experience. As you said, at exactly 9:45, we were having a morning devotion, and all we saw was the building collapse. That was all. So we waited for hours for the rescue team to come and rescue us. Only God knows what really happened that day. So you cannot blame anybody for what happened. It's part of life, so we need to accept it and move on in life.
Communications Director of Melcom, Godwin Avenobu, says it's been a difficult year for the company as well as survivors of the tragedy.
It's a difficult moment because there was so much to do. The injured, their compensation, their medical treatment, and so on and so forth. Even the dead, going through the paperwork and getting the medical authorities to relate with the labor department and the courts and so on, to find genuine survivors and the next of kin for these payments to be done. And the company has to issue checks to settle all that through the Labour Commission.
Some of the survivors who have complained about battling post-traumatic stress disorder over the harrowing experience say the 1,000 Ghana cedis compensation is woefully inadequate. But the company says it has not closed its doors to the survivors.
Somebody must have had something drop and then suddenly the building collapsed. So anything that drops reminds the person, oh, is it going to happen again? Yes, they have received help. But that help is not going to be a one-stop event. If anybody still has that problem, the person should just come forward and Melcom is willing to support them. Today I announced another package for working staff of Melcom. 10 scholarships, primary, basic, class 1 to university level. That's not all. We are going to continue. We began with the children of the victims of the disaster.
He added, all 26 Melcom shopping centers across the country are undergoing safety checks to prevent a recurrence of the disaster. The survivors, however, say they are disappointed about the authorities' handling of the case of those who may have been responsible, and especially at the feeling that their colleagues may have died in vain.